Ever logged into Mobile Legends lately and wondered, wait, is that even the same game? Because after Project Next 2025 dropped, the meta flipped so hard that heroes long considered deadweight are suddenly top tier again. Hidden grass ambushers, river currents pushing teams to rotate, a brand new Abyss marksman dominating gold lane, and it's almost like MLBB's got a glow up and we're all scrambling to catch up. So, did Project Next actually succeed? Let's dive in. Welcome back to Mobile Legends News. Project Next 2025 was pitched as one of MLBB's boldest overhauls ever. A sweeping update meant to modernize heroes, refresh the map, streamline gameplay, and shake up how battles unfold across the Land of Dawn, with new heroes, revamped favorites, altered maps, and item adjustments. It aimed to reshape the meta from the ground up. In this video, we're exploring whether Project Next genuinely succeeded or if it just left us patching over fresh chaos. Project Next 2025 felt like the moment Moonton finally said, okay, it's time to rebuild the Land of Dawn from the ground up. And honestly, the changes hit harder than a Fed Die Wrathful combo. The update didn't just polish the game, it rewired the foundation of the meta, modernized old heroes, reshaped the map, and introduced pacing changes that transformed how players think about rotations, drafts, and power spikes. One of the biggest shifts came from the hero reworks, especially the Abyss faction revamps. It felt like Moonson reached into the archives, dusted off heroes like Alice, Dairoth, and Thamuz, and said, you know what, let's make you terrifying again. Alice is the perfect example. Formerly a mana-dependent mage, she's now a sustain-heavy tank mage hybrid, with new Crimson Stack mechanics, so she heals, she bursts, she tanks, and suddenly she's a viable jungler or mid-lane mage depending on the comp. Dairoth and Thamuz got similar glow-ups, not just cosmetic upgrades, but fully enhanced kits that make them feel modern, aggressive, and relevant. They clear jungle faster, scale better, and actually matter in late-game teamfights. For the first time in years, all three are back in the meta, and ranked drafts finally look interesting again instead of the same predictable top-tier picks every match. But the hero improvements were only the beginning, because the map overhaul under annual map change is where Project Next really shook the player base. Instead of a single battlefield with tiny seasonal tweaks, MLBB now throws you into one of 4 unique maps: Dangerous Grass, Broken Walls, Flying Cloud, or Expanding Rivers, each with terrain changes that alter the way every match flows. Dangerous Grass fills crucial areas with thick bushes, turning the game into a literal jump scare simulator. Assassins, burst mages, and ambush heroes thrive because vision becomes a luxury, not a guarantee. Then you have Broken Walls, where pathways shift dramatically with cracked terrain and flank routes. Suddenly, mobility heroes can pull off wild wraparound ganks or slip through openings that didn't exist before, making positioning more important than raw brute force. Flying Cloud takes a different approach. You respawn, float back into action, and boom, you're instantly part of the fight again. It changes the tempo of late-game clashes because defenders can return faster and stop sieges before they snowball. And of course, there's Expanding Rivers. The map looks harmless until you realize the water literally speeds up rotations. Heroes without mobility suddenly feel faster, junglers get to objectives quicker, and team rotations become unpredictable. It's the kind of map that rewards awareness over mechanics, and it adds a strategic twist to every match. Now combine all of that with the system and item changes, and you start to see why the 2025 meta looks nothing like previous seasons. Project Next wasn't just a visual polish. Moonton upgraded core feel, controls feel smoother, hit effects and stuns are clearer, and animations are cleaner. You notice it immediately the moment you land a perfectly timed skill shot or react to enemy CC faster. Even roaming equipment got a significant buff. Supports and tanks no longer feel like they're crawling behind in golden XP, because the new system gives them better progression without needing last hits. This makes early game rotations more meaningful and gives roamers more influence, which in turn affects jungle pacing, laning pressure, and objective fights. Item tweaks also contributed to the meta shakeup. Adjustments to Dire Hit strengthened early burst setups. Defensive items like Athena's shield got tuned to be more situational and timing dependent, and certain hybrid builds now have more viable paths. Small changes, but collectively they update the flow of fights, especially mid-game skirmishes and jungle invasions. The combination of all these changes is what ultimately reshaped the 2025 meta. Roles became more balanced thanks to revamped flexibility. Mages tank better, fighters scale smoother, roamers impact earlier, and assassins exploit terrain far more effectively. Rank pick ban trends also became less predictable because map randomness forces drafts to consider terrain advantages just as much as hero counters. A dangerous grass match favors ambushers, a broken walls match favors high mobility fighters, an expanding rivers match favors rotation focused comps, and suddenly every match feels fresh. Team compositions also evolved. The rigid 1-1-1-1-1 role structure of older metas softened into more creative mixes. You see double fighter comps built for objective pressure, sustain heavy mage cores built around bruisers, assassin-centric lineups built for map exploitation, and tank mage hybrids like Alice becoming anchors for entire strategies. It's the kind of meta where thinking creatively wins more games than relying on outdated hero tiers. Of course, Project Next isn't perfect. With so many moving pieces, revamped heroes, rotating maps, and pacing changes, the learning curve is definitely steeper, especially for new players. What dominates on one map might flop on another. Rotations, power spikes, and win conditions shift more from match to match than they used to. And as always, some heroes inevitably come out overtuned or undertuned and will be needing balancing in future patches. But despite the quirks and chaos, the overall picture is clear. MLBB feels more alive than it has in years. The battlefield feels unpredictable in a good way. Old heroes feel new again, strategies depend on awareness, adaptability, and creativity, and not just the same stale combos. And honestly, that's the magic of Project Next. It didn't just patch the meta, it revitalized it. But if there's one undeniable proof that Project Next changed Mobile Legends forever, it's how dramatically it reshaped team dynamics and hero viability. Suddenly, the game isn't just about picking the same handful of meta staples. Instead, each hero has meaningful choices. Every hero can shine in the right scenario, and map awareness now directly affects outcomes. The update's hero reworks gave long-forgotten legends like Alice, Dyroth, and Thamuz a reason to be feared again, while map and system changes forced players to rethink rotations, positioning, and objective control. The meta now rewards versatility and strategy over mechanical repetition. Teams that adapt to the new terrain, such as mastering dangerous grass ambushes, exploiting broken walls flank paths, or leveraging expanding rivers for faster rotations, are the ones consistently coming out on top. Even role diversity has reached new heights. Sustain-heavy mages can function as tanks, roaming supports impact early skirmishes meaningfully, and fighter bruisers scale more reliably from start to finish. Pick ban trends are unpredictable, forcing ranked players to draft creatively rather than follow cookie-cutter templates. Ultimately, Project Next's biggest impact is the shift in mindset it demands. Players can no longer rely on muscle memory or static strategies. Every game feels like a fresh puzzle where understanding hero synergies, terrain advantages, and timing windows become just as important as individual skill. This meta evolution is the clearest evidence that Project Next isn't just cosmetic. It fundamentally elevates how MLBB is played, making every match more dynamic, engaging, and strategically rich. Project Next 2025 successfully revitalized the MLBB meta by improving hero balance, refreshing outdated kits, and adding meaningful strategic depth through map and system changes. Heroes feel more viable, team compositions are more flexible, and matches now reward creativity and awareness over repetition. These shifts showed that Project Next achieved its goals, creating a dynamic, unpredictable, and exciting gameplay environment that challenges players to adapt, innovate, and rethink how they approach every fight in the Land of Dawn. So what do you think? Was Project Next a true success or just a chaotic shakeup? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't miss our next breakdown, where we'll analyze the upcoming major patch and see how the 2025 meta continues to evolve. Stay ahead in the Land of Dawn. Till next time.